Okay, yeah, so I'm a psychologist, I'm going to say at the beginning, so I'm going to talk about 5 steps to online dating post-Valentine's, so when we're ready. I met a lady on online dating once and I said, where do you want to go tonight? She said, let's go for a meal. And this happened for another 3 nights. On the 5th night, I said, where do you want to go tonight? And she says, can we go and see that movie about Bruce Wayne, the Cape Crusader? And I thought, well, this is just dinner, Batman. Okay, hey, thank you. Anyway, just Googling some dating sites. 5 minutes to do these. We've got glutenfreesingles.com, niche site. Uniform dating, if you like people wearing uniform, if you like people with beards, bristler.com. There's even one called theuglybugsball.com for people who consider themselves a little bit ugly. So 5 steps, which website or app to use. It depends really if you want something sort of quick and easy like Tinder, or if you want something which is a bit more sort of protracted like eHarmony, which they were a relationship site, not a dating site, and they use a long sort of psychometric test. Really, and this is the more summative advice, what influences attraction most is similarity and familiarity. So if you use a site which caters for your kind of shared interests, that's kind of better maybe than using anything else. And there's hundreds of different sites. What's important, there's one missing there, is when you write your profile, evolutionary psychology tells us that for guys, you should sort of say that you're sort of powerful, rich and everything. For females, you advertise yourself as being attractive. So that's really what actually influences people's judgments in online dating. Also for guys, if you say you have an preference to invest in children, so you can see the 2 guys here, the guy on the right is creating the child, generally seen as more attractive if you've got a preference to invest in children. Also what you have to do is avoid cliches like the plague, haha. And don't say things like, oh, I like long walks on the beach, or I like staying with a glass of wine. My friends tell me that. Yeah, that's, try and think of something original about yourself and avoid these cliches. When you put your profile up as well, you've got to get a good sort of facial shot. Facial shots are very important apparently in online dating, but also couple that with a sort of full body shot as well, not with clothes on, obviously. So yeah, that's what you have to do. Next, so the third thing you're doing is making a decision about other people's profiles. And this guy, Eli Finkel from Illinois, suggests that we limit ourselves to a manageable set of candidates, he says. I don't know if they call candidates, but limit yourself to a manageable set of people. Be open-minded. Don't you go in with that kind of shopping list mentality. You don't go in with a shopping list mentality, because who you like is who you like, is who you meet. It's not going in with preconceived ideas about who you might like. Avoid that kind of assessment mindset. And finally, don't give up too easy. Many people give up. It does take time. Online dating estimates have been something like 12 hours a week, right? In online dating, that's a long time. That's 3 nights out maybe. So don't give up. If you're going to do it, you've got to spend time actually doing it. Then you're going to chat. Online communication is known as hyper-personal communication, i.e. people kind of disclose information about themselves a lot faster online than they do face-to-face. So it's a kind of different kind of chat, so just be aware of that. And you're going to kind of use some sort of opening lines, such as, are you Jamaican? Because Jamaican me crazy. Is your name Google? Because you have everything I'm searching for. No, don't use that. Okay, terrible kind of opening lines. No, don't use those. Okay, so... And also, you just got a question. If you pose a question, you're going to get a response. And obviously, you're going to kind of try and make some kind of compliments about people, because compliments, not overdone, but you kind of seen a bit more positively if you compliment people. People always advertise themselves with GSOH. That does not mean got snail on head, as in the picture there. It means good sense of humour. So everybody likes someone with a good sense of humour. It's important for females apparently to appreciate humour, for males to generate humour. Males who generate humour are seen as being more intelligent, more empathetic, and more confident. If you want to find out why that's the case, I can tell you why later. I haven't got time right now. But for guys who have got good sense of humour, are seen as being all those kinds of things. And then finally, meeting. You want to meet somebody quickly, because that's the kind of end game in online dating. I've got a friend, he's a friend, who chatted to someone online, never ever met this girl, and I said, why aren't you meeting her? She doesn't want to meet. But you've got to kind of get to meet somebody sooner rather than later. Have some conversation. So when you go on a date, you've got some sort of pre-armed conversation, a couple of things you can talk about at the date, so the conversation doesn't dry up. So have some conversation. That does not mean, when we come to the next slide, there we go, that you interrogate people and you do that. I went out with a girl once and she would say, How far is London from Cardiff? Oh, 150 miles. How much did it cost to cross the Severn Bridge? Oh, £6.20. What's the main industry in Cardiff? It was more like multiple choice than dating, right? So don't do that. And finally, be decisive. People who are decisive are generally seen as being a little more attractive than people who are kind of not so decisive. I knew a girl once who went out with a fireman, and you're thinking, fireman, any fireman here? You know, fireman attractive, and she said this guy was dull because he wasn't very decisive. So please be decisive, and that's the end of my little bit of advice in 5 minutes, so thank you very much for listening.